Okay. Right. Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's back. I thought I'd just start this session by just, particularly for those of you who've never been to a conference before, which is actually quite a few of you, I think. I thought I'd just give a tiny little brief history of how we've got to where we are now. The Keratoconus group started back in the early 90s, and it started in Moorfields in London. And that was after I'd had both my eyes grafted, and I'd had a period when I got really depressed and miserable, and when I look back on it I thought, well, if only I'd been able to talk to other people who'd got this strange and weird and wonderful condition. So that's how the group began, and it was all it was supposed to be was a little support group in Moorfields. So I started off with a mailing list of, I think, 40 people that I'd sort of write to and say, you know, how about a meeting on such and such a date? And it's sort of grown, really. And it grew quite slowly to start with. But within a couple of years, I heard from somebody in Birmingham who also had been diagnosed, and she was suggesting starting a group in the West Midlands. So that was the next step. So after the London meetings, it was somebody called Nazreen started meetings in Birmingham, and that was in the mid-90s. And that group has been going from strength to strength, and it's still going now. And they meet 3 or 4 times a year. It was 2001 when we had our first national conference in London. And 2001 was actually also a very memorable year because that was when the first website started. And of course that made a huge difference to how many people we reached. So our membership started expanding considerably from that time on. And it wasn't long after that, within a year or two, I think that Elizabeth started the Scottish group, which was our third regional group. We've briefly had a group in Manchester. I won't go into the history of that, but that sort of seems to have died a death at the moment, which is a shame. But our latest edition is the East Midlands group, which is based in Leicester, to which we're very grateful to Patricia Lascelles, who's here today, for starting that, and that's going really well at the moment, so we're absolutely delighted. I think, you know, in general, we're very keen to make contact with as many hospitals and as many optometrists as possible, because I'm sure, I mean, our membership now is about 1,600. Which is a huge increase from those very early beginnings. And we've had over the years a number of people who've joined for a bit when they needed support and then have disappeared, which is fine. I mean, that's the nature of this sort of group, I think. But I'm aware that there must be, you know, many thousands of other people out there who don't know that the group exists and who would actually love to meet somebody else who knew what they were talking about when they, particularly to those people who say, well, why don't you just wear your glasses? We could give a tenner to everybody who said that to us, or if we could get a tenner for everyone who said that to us, we would be millionaires. So it makes, as I'm sure you all know, it makes such a huge difference to be able to talk to somebody who actually knows what it's all about. So as I said, we're keen to make contact with as many hospitals and optometrists as we can. So one of the things that I'd say to you is that we can email you a poster advertising the group, which if you go to a hospital or clinic that doesn't have a poster already, then please do let me know, and I can email you a poster, and hopefully you can persuade the clinic to display it somewhere prominently. Equally to your optometrist if you go to an optometrist outside hospitals. We've also got at the back little business cards, and we've brought quite a lot. So, you know, if anyone wants to take some of those cards to give to their optometrist or their hospital, then please do. Anything that will get us better known and give us a higher profile. And obviously, you know, if any of you are in areas where there isn't a group at the moment, and you're brave enough to start a group, then we on the committee and people like Elizabeth and Patricia and Marion from Birmingham, who couldn't be here today, will do everything we can to support you and help you and try and get things going. As I say, I'm delighted that there's so many people here who haven't been before. We've also got a number of people here today who've only very recently been diagnosed, and I hope it's been particularly useful to you to be able to talk to somebody who actually knows what the condition is, knows what it's all about. I don't know whether you've all noticed in your conference pack that we have got a feedback form, so something else for you to fill in, but we would be very grateful if you would to let us know, what you were happy with, what we could have done differently, any ideas, and there's space on the back for any comments that you'd like to make, because this is your group. We want to do what's best for you and what's useful for you. So please do communicate with us and let us know what you would like.